How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, and we are here for the finale of Luke Cage Season 1, You Know My Steez. Now, I'm surprised that we're getting that in this. I mean, it's a good final, episode title, but I'm surprised we're not getting it in the episode that had Method Man in it. But, I mean, they're all named after Gangstar songs either way, but still, the Steez thing is a Method Man. It might have come before Method Man, but as far as I know, culturally, I know Steez as being, the Method Man thing. So, surprised I didn't get that there. As far as, my predictions for the title, I mean, I feel like it obviously you want to say it's Luke, but I feel like it's Diamondback. Like, with how he's dressed and everything. Oh, you know my Steez. I can totally see him. Like, I keep saying, I know they're not going to, but I can totally see Diamondback saying half of these titles. Alright, let's just get into it. If you want to see the full length for this one, check it out on the Patreon below for $4 a month. Check it out. Okay, so starting off, we got our flashback with with Diamondback with Luke. Not what I wanted, honestly, though.
Really? Yeah.
No, I thought I was so sure. I kept predicting I know next episode we're getting this. I thought the flashback was going to be a lot more lengthy, and I think showing more of their why they were such good. They seem to be best friends.
Yeah.
Right, as they implied. I wanted to see that closeness. That we never got to see ever.
Yeah.
Because even during the boxing match, they were pretty, not like they hated each other or anything like that, but it was definitely more of a aggressive, it felt like a younger brother, older brother relationship.
Sure.
More so than it felt like they were friends.
Yeah.
It barely came across they were friends in that at all. How did you feel about that? Did it come across like they were supposed to be best friends?
I mean, I think I also got the older brother, younger brother feel to it, but I was okay with that. I thought it was a situation where, it plays off the fact that they are, in fact, related.
Yeah, I think it definitely does, but I don't think it sold me on what we've been told about them.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I liked seeing it in the sense of it was nice cutting back and forth between it with the boxing match and from that. It was cool for a fight, sort of cutting in and out of time sort of thing.
Sure.
But as for the only flashback we got with them as kids, together, not into it.
Okay. It gave me what I wanted to see, which was Luke liking Diamondback and Diamondback being conflicted about it.
Now, to be fair, we could still get more because we don't really know much at all about everything that went down.
And the ending really feels like, Diamondback's coming back, or at the very least, he's going to be involved.
Yeah, he ain't over yet.
No.
So, I'm not sure. This season, the second half of this season didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of meandered around and didn't really, end anything. We had a cool final fight, but it wasn't like a final fight that ended anything.
Right.
So, and as we, end off the episode with the sometimes backwards to go forwards, that is what this kind of felt like a lot.
Yeah. That was the point, but I'm not sure if I enjoy that point.
Yeah, because, we did up from, episode 1 through, 6 or whatever, with, Cottonmouth, or up to 7 or something. All that stuff, there is an arc there. The stuff changed, the stuff has changed in the city now with them on the side of Luke. That's really the only thing that's changed in the second half, is the city's perception of Luke.
Right.
But, as a arc in a season for, a story sort of thing, I don't know. Could have been, I felt like it was just meandering around a lot.
Sure.
So, next season I hope we get more solid stuff happening with Diamondback that is, that matters.
Yeah.
Long-lasting.
Because I was surprised. I didn't want it, but I was surprised that, we didn't see Luke's father, or we didn't do, a flashback with Luke's father, that kind of thing, because it is such a family-focused, second half. But if they are waiting until Season 2 to really expand upon that kind of stuff, or, do all the big flashbacks, I can kind of see why they would do that then.
Yeah. I'm honestly starting to realize that I honestly kind of prefer a show that is scared to get canceled in the first season.
Yeah.
I much prefer wrapping up everything within a season and then starting something fresh the next season.
Sure.
Rather than, or like, leaving little, like, foreshadowing bits, but not, like, doing a whole half of a season and not really going anywhere with it. Daredevil did the same sort of thing with its season 2, with The Hand. And it's sort of like, that one, a lot more, it felt like more of an actual, close, because, I'm not going to get too into it, but, with who died at the end of it.
Right.
It was a little bit more of a bookend close. Someone at least died. But, it just, in general, though, I'm not a fan of the half this season will be devoted to this, and then half of the next season will be devoted to this.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I mean, they can make it work. Again, but when it's like small foreshadowing stuff, like The Hand in Season 1 to The Hand in Season 2, totally fine with that.
Sure.
But it's what assumingly we're going to get with The Hand in Season 3, the half, and then assumingly first half of Season 3 or something. Mm-hmm. But talking about Luke Cage.
Yeah. But I do feel like a lot of Luke Cage suffers from being on Netflix in a way. Like, specifically having that extra breathing room. Like, I do appreciate a lot of Luke Cage, but there's also a lot of stuff where it's clear, like, the creators, especially, like, there is one showrunner who is, like, the driving force behind the whole series. And it does feel like, he has a lot of really big ideas about, what to do with all the characters, including, like, Mariah, for instance.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a real impetus to make people really love her or anything. Like, she can grow more naturally, but in context of a TV show, it's kind of rough to see her grow naturally, because it means that, it's not that explosive or anything.
Yeah. You said it great in episode 1, and I was like, I wonder how true that's going to be. And it has turned out to be, I'd say, pretty true, this feels like one of those series where the writer has the world, like the community of Harlem, he has the world of Harlem, the world of the show, very clear in his mind, but because of that, he's not, like, doing a very good job of exemplifying the parts of the certain things that we're supposed to, like, hard at making them stand out in an exaggerated way or anything compared to all the other shows.
Yeah.
It's a lot more slow burning and a lot more like Misty.
Oh boy, Misty's arc. Like, yeah, I can easily see how, like, there must be, like, an extra 2/3 of her arc that altogether works really well. But in season 1 of Luke Cage, she kind of just does some stuff and isn't great, and then we leave her on the note of, you should have trusted the system, I guess.
Yeah, which I feel like I was not getting that vibe at all. Like, were you getting the vibe that we were on the way for her character arc working within the system?
No.
Because I felt like, especially towards the end of the season, and I guess that's why we have the big twist there, but, like, it really felt like the whole season we were working towards her working outside the system.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Again, we still got a whole, like, another season for her character arc and all that, but...
And, there could be stuff in between, too.
True. But, oh, God, I hope not. I sure fucking hope not.
You don't want to show up
anywhere else?
If there's
one character I do not want showing up in another MCU series, it's Misty. Stay in Luke Cage. Stay where you belong.
But, yeah, honestly, I think they could spin it later as, Ridley was wrong. But clearly, like, the taste we're supposed to have at the end of the season is Misty was wrong.
I think so. Or, yeah, I don't know.
Because I do think, like, Ridley was intentionally supposed to feel like, is she corrupt? Is she not? Like, is she working with Mariah on the sly? Or is she just straightforward,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and it's also like well, she did try, and she always has tried first to do it by the system.
Yeah.
And then has tried to do it outside the system. The main point with the Candace thing, Candace would not have gone into that precinct.
Yeah.
There's no way. If she didn't do this whole thing outside the system, then, all the stuff they did have with Mariah, they wouldn't have had, at all. Not that it is all flimsy anyway. Like, I think my big takeaway from Misty this season was her being very, very dumb as to what the law is.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't seem to comprehend the courts at all. Like, she understands what her job is as a police officer, but she doesn't seem to have any knowledge that extends past that. As to, like, if I arrest someone, what will happen?
Yeah.
Like, she does not seem to know anything about what will happen to somebody after being arrested. Just because I don't know, she just seems so dumb at every like the whole stuff with Mariah here, where I kept going like, okay, I guess this is gonna work. I don't see how this is gonna work in court, but I'm gonna suspend my disbelief.
Right.
With the Canada stuff, I was like, this stuff happens in movies. They get the recorded thing or whatever, and if she was alive and in court, maybe, but even then, no fucking way. But so it's like when it was a big shock to her, like in that scene at the end here, where it's like all this evidence isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you thought that was gonna work? I don't know, man. Misty, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah. Also, like, just in a general Misty notes, what was going on with her at the start of the series and then at the end? Like, it seemed like she was infiltrating Harlem's Paradise in episode 1.
Yeah.
And we were very confused about that in episode 1.
Like, I mean, the main thing I was confused about was not her infiltrating Harlem's Paradise, but why she got in the black Escalade.
Right.
She fucked Luke, then she left Luke's apartment and immediately got in a black Escalade.
Yeah.
What was up with that? That's my main question. Like, her working undercover, I thought she was working undercover as a customer, but it's like, okay, no, was she supposed to be undercover as a employee? But then why was the whole scene with Luke would not make any sense if she was supposed to be an employee?
Yeah.
Now, why is she back there again? Because they know who she is. I don't get what she's doing here.
Yeah.
They know who, like, no one there doesn't know her.
Yeah. If anyone is going to infiltrate, it has to be anyone else.
Literally anybody else.
It could be Bailey.
It could. Just send him in there in a dress.
Ah, yeah.
Also, like, let's say she was, like, the Black Escalade thing, the girls, that was, to get to Cottonmouth, right?
Yeah.
What would be the purpose now? To get to Mariah? To get to Shades? What?
They both know her very well now.
And, like, even if they didn't, even if they had no idea who that she was, what does she think they're doing? Do they think that they're also, like, just bringing up girls and having threesomes?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe, but I don't think so. Let's touch on that really quick. The Mariah and Shades thing. Did you see that coming at all throughout the season, or
I didn't think that she would reciprocate. Like, for this whole season, I have seen it as, the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it mostly as Shades really likes Mariah, and Mariah has a long way to go before she becomes, someone who would be in love with Shades.
Okay. See, this whole season, I took it as Mariah definitely had feelings for Shades and was definitely going to try and pursue that in some way, but Shades, has this sort of, master, I think he gets off on the power over her and stuff, but I think in his heart, he hates her.
Okay.
I think in his heart, his true feelings for her, he would describe her as a selfish, dumb bitch.
Okay.
I do think that he would describe... I think when he has said bitch here before, he has meant it.
Okay.
I think he is... I think that scene there with her kissing him and then his expression afterwards is him thinking, I can use this.
Okay.
I do think... there could be the big twist, oh no, actually he was, entered into her and stuff like that, but I totally think it is a power trip sort of thing, where it's not that he's into her specifically, but he's into the idea of being powerful over somebody.
Okay.
I think that's where I'm going.
Alright, I saw it more as
I think it also, by the way, fits into the Shades, thing, hiding behind the Shades.
True.
And all that. Feeling I don't know, the Shades feels like such a power move sort of thing. It is. But, yeah, what were you going to say?
I definitely see their relationship as Shades wanting to be a Stokes. Wanting to enter... he does have this, not hero worship, but somewhere close to that for Mama Mabel. So I do see it as, he wanted Mariah to be more like her, not because he cares that much about Mariah specifically, but because he cares about the name.
Oh, yeah.
And now, now he is going to have the name. If not legally, then at the very least, in spirits.
I could totally see him having, you're no Mama Mabel sort of thing, and then her freaking out on him and them fighting each other. I could totally see, if that's going to end, I think it might end with them, killing each other.
I could see that, for sure.
I can't see Luke killing either of them. I can't see Mariah going to jail, honestly.
No.
Shades, I don't know what I can see anything happening to him, honestly. There's nothing I think a direction we're going with him.
Yeah.
He can go anywhere.
Boy, the operation they did, to kill Candace was so... I like how it wasn't extremely slick. Like, Mariah was sweating it out so hard because she didn't know what the cops had on her.
Yeah.
Like, once she realized, oh, you just have Candace, like, her demeanor changed, like, not instantly, like, she was still hiding it, but you could tell that her feelings were so, like, there was a sudden sense of relief. Like, oh, that's all you have?
Yeah. Yeah, Mariah is definitely fascinating. But, like, again, like, okay, so... Mariah, we're not supposed to root for. She's supposed to be the dumb... Like, she's good at spinning everything, but she is pretty not smart.
Yeah.
Like, she always has to have Shades, like, tell her, what she should do. Or she has to have Alex tell her what she should do. And then she's like, oh, I know I can word it really well, but I have to have someone else give me the idea first.
Yeah. I see it as, like, she doesn't have the criminal brain.
Yeah.
Like, everything, like, related to being a politician, she does really well.
Well, even then, because I was going to get into her not having a lawyer in this thing here. But then we have, was that was last episode with the Shades lawyer thing.
Yeah, that was last episode.
Yeah. Shades, being a smart man, knows that he's not going to say anything before his lawyer, gets there.
Yeah.
Making sure that he will not say anything before a lawyer is there. Like, he did the whole, like, leading her along and everything. But still, it was all for just saying, my lawyer.
Yeah.
What was I?
Mariah?
Yeah, Mariah. Doesn't ask for a lawyer at all, She just does it all herself.
Right.
Every time this has happened, she has done that.
Yeah.
But then Luke also saying...
Oh, Luke.
I don't think anybody on Earth could say a sentence that would make me more angry than, I'm not guilty, I don't need a lawyer.
Oh, boy. After what he's gone through.
At that point, I don't know. That made me hate him. I hate Luke Cage as a character now. I went from, like, Luke Cage is probably my least favorite character in the MCU to, I absolutely hate Luke Cage as a character. I cannot stand him.
Yeah, and it is definitely a character decision, not a writing decision.
Yeah,
because the writing has been very clear. Like, characters good and bad have said, I'm not talking until I get my lawyer.
Yeah, we've had it throughout the series. Like,
yeah. I mean, Claire is right there saying both times, I'll get you a lawyer.
I know a good lawyer. He would probably do it for free. Well, and I'm assuming she's talking about Foggy.
Honestly,
I know she's not talking about Matt.
I think she's talking about Matt.
I know she's talking about Matt, but, man.
Yeah.
Matt, I can fucking see it where Luke's sitting in court and being like, where the fuck is Matt? He's not even here right now. He didn't even show up at court. Also, legitimately... I don't know if we've ever been shown that Matt is a great lawyer.
Not really, no.
No.
He did the lie detector is really good. Like, he's good at having people on the stands.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen him do, like, the paperwork and stuff really well.
Yeah. And, like Foggy, if you got Foggy to do it for you, for free, that's great. You're getting, like, a really high lawyer to do it for you free. Matt's, and Foggy, they were good lawyers, when they had Nelson and Murdoch, but, like, they were supposed to be these altruistic, godly lawyers. Oh man, they're saints, but it's like, there's 1,000, they're public defenders, they're not that special. There's a billion people just like them. But so, getting somebody like Foggy to help you would be really nice.
I mean, especially with the note we left Foggy off on last season of...
helping supers,
Yeah, specifically, like, Hogarth having him help supers.
Yeah.
Like, even if Claire didn't go and ask, like, Hogarth would have sniffed this out. Like, Luke is on the news. He is such a big deal. She would be like, no, Foggy, you're defending him. I don't care if he says no.
Yeah, I definitely... that would have been such a good scene. It would have been so cool.
I mean, maybe we're getting it later.
Because then we could have also had it in the court, with him saying that.
I mean, the second time, like, when he's being taken to Seagate, Claire, like, offers lawyer again, and Luke doesn't say no that time.
Well, he doesn't say yes.
He doesn't say yes, but he doesn't say no.
I hope so, but... Maybe this was just a, from a writing perspective, it was like, oh, well, we want to have the scene where it's Luke and the lawyers in the courtroom. We can't have it yet, so we're going to have Luke just say that in the precinct, even though that just invalidates everything he says.
Yeah, because you could have still had the season end the exact same way if he had said, I'll have a lawyer, but obviously they're not bringing him the lawyer right now, and then they still have the drive to Georgia.
Yeah.
Like, if they wanted to end it on that note of leaving Harlem.
Well, I mean, then he still would have had to explain the things in the precinct.
Sure.
To get him off of that stuff. But, I mean, they could have just had a lawyer.
Yeah, it could have been anyone.
Any lawyer. But, where the hell are... I don't know. How do you feel about Luke overall as a character?
Overall, like, you said a while ago that he is extremely unrelatable. And I do think that is, like, one of the cores of his character. That he is, like, he's cool. And he is, like, you know, if I were being mugged in an alley, I would want Luke to be there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a smart character, or, like, of anyone who I could have be in that alley with me, I would choose, like, most of the other MCU heroes over Luke. Because I'd be afraid that Luke's gonna punch me in the head or something.
I wouldn't be afraid Luke's gonna punch me in the head or anything, but, like... I just wouldn't trust Luke not to immediately call the cops or something, you know?
Or take me to the precinct.
Like, Luke's such a weird hero where I feel like he would, you know, stop a robber and then immediately call the police. Like,
I mean, he literally did that with Method Man.
Yeah, I know, and Method Man didn't call the police.
Yeah.
Like, Matt is usually like, he listens for the police doing something, and then he goes and aids them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Matt has ever done something and then called the police. Like, even with Turk, it doesn't seem like he has, you know, like, he doesn't, like, beat up Turk and then call the police or anything like that. It's usually he beats up Turk and then the police find him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if I would trust Luke and Ally. Not like in a, for my own safety, you know, he's gonna punch you or something like that. But just like, I don't know if I would trust his decisions.
Yeah. I guess that's where I was going with it more than he was going to punch me.
Yeah. Or just like, I don't know if he would just stand there and let it happen sometimes.
Oh no.
I don't think he would anymore. But like, you know, back in the, you know, earliest season, it's like he probably would just stand there and be like, not my problem, I'm not a hero.
It's also interesting that this episode really clarifies that Luke can't fight very well. Even though we've had him, you know, be trained by a Golden Glove winner, and then later on, like, you know, he has all the experience of fighting in the ring, and then he later has, you know, more fighting experience.
Yeah.
He's still not very good.
No, it's weird. He's been in the military, too.
Yeah.
He's gotten police training, which, to be fair, is not much at all. But still, it's insane how bad he is at fighting.
Yeah, like, all Willis's armor really did was, you know, it softened the blows that Luke did to him, and it let him fight back. But it didn't give him an overwhelming advantage.
No.
It's not like he was wearing an Iron Man suit or anything.
And, like, for a lot of the fights, Luke was purposely not fighting.
Yeah.
He was trying to get Diamondback to change his mind. But after that point, it's still like a, you know, he's not that good at fighting.
Yeah.
And even when he's fighting for his life in other circumstances, he's just not that good at fighting.
Yeah.
Like, he's good at fighting in the sense, like, you know, he is not gonna, he can slap people right, he's got super strength. But in terms of, like, a fighting stance, in terms of actually, you know, fighting in real life, not great at it. He doesn't look trained, is I guess what we're trying to say.
Yeah, even though he has been trained.
It is that he's good at fighting, it's just that he's not, he doesn't look like he's trained in fighting.
Yeah.
Even with the boxing stuff, there's not boxing punches, what is he doing?
So, by the way, that was all Hammer Tech made specifically for fighting Luke.
Yeah!
So, what is going on with Justin?
I mean, he's gotta be in C8's underground lair somewhere.
Like, that is such a step above, you know, we stole this technology or we modified this technology. That was made to fight Luke.
Again, maybe season 2, maybe never.
It's interesting that Luke's not liking to cuss thing comes from his father, yet Willis is very down with cussing.
Yeah.
Even though, like everything else about Willis's character seems to be, you know, I want your father to like me because he's my father. But except for the cussing.
Is that, I don't know if I've ever gotten that impression.
I got that from when he said, you know, I was a good boy, I wanted him to like me.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe at a point. like when he was a kid, that's what he wanted. But I think at a certain point he just became enraged and he didn't want anything. Like now, even I don't think he wants anything anymore.
Yeah.
The only thing he wants is just to, like, it's not like I want to hurt Carl because he, got the benefits that I didn't. We have shown multiple points in the series, but at this point, he knows that there's no reason for him to be going after Luke. Like, there's no actual. He just does it because he's just like, oh, I'm mad.
He embodies the sin of wrath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which also, really cool that, his suit, again, also embodies the sin of wrath. Like, it is if you are wrathful towards me, I get more energy to harm you.
Oh, is that what, like, the blows that he was doing was charging it up?
Yeah, because you could hear the sound effect of it, like, whirring whenever he got hit by Luke, and then, like, the back would glow sometimes. Like, it would glow more as he was being hurt. But once or twice in the fight, like, when Luke hadn't hit him for a while, it started to, like, get dimmer and dimmer.
I honestly thought it was something where it was like, oh, he had to take it out and start wearing it before it was fully charged up. Okay. And so he was still charging it throughout the fight to get to his full power. But yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and that's why Luke's big speech is about how he couldn't feed him with hate anymore. He had to try something else, which is why he sandbags him and lets Willis, like, use up all the energy.
Okay. That also makes... Yeah. I thought he was just, physically tiring him out. But if he's also draining the juice matter... Okay, I didn't catch any of that at all.
Yeah.
I also... The whole fight, I was so sure. I was like, okay, clearly the way you win this is just ripping that thing off his back. Like, we're just waiting for the point where Luke realizes that.
Okay.
But, no, he never did. It's like such an easy, duh thing to... It's not like it was surgically implanted in him or anything.
Right.
It's like a fucking backpack that he's wearing. Just rip it off. But, really cool fight. I absolutely loved the fight. Probably, honestly, one of the coolest fights in the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite fight in the MCU.
Okay.
Just because of having the crowd, be there.
Which, like, the reason you can't do that in basically any other fight in the MCU is because, like, Willis didn't want to kill people in the crowd, Luke didn't want to kill people in the crowd, and they don't have, like, ranged attacks that could accidentally hit the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, this was an actual melee versus melee fight without, like, bladed weapons or anything.
The only way you could really do this again... Because, I mean, they were against... it doesn't matter if Stryker wanted to harm the people in the crowd. They would still stand there anyway.
Yeah.
We've seen that many times throughout the MCU and real life. We could have seen that with the Hulk and the Abomination if it was like, the Hulk was already established as a hero that people... because of circumstances, obviously not. But, like, that's the only thing where I could... Like, that was also, like, a melee... fight. It was also in Harlem.
Yep, two big fights in Harlem.
But I could see a big crowd around that, cheering if that happened later in the MCU.
Yeah.
I can't think of another fight that would work like that. No. Like, also, one of the other, like, coolest fights I think we've had in the MCU was Daredevil versus Punisher up on the roof with the police, like, shooting at them like a firing squad during the fight. That was also insanely cool. I'm realizing I just love the fights where it's two characters fighting while there's also just like this backdrop thing happening.
Okay.
Because like even I think part of the reason why it's not just the crowd, it was also the police standing there waiting for whoever was going to lose.
Yeah. Which seems to be just once Cage loses, we shoot him.
Yeah.
Like, I can never remember his name, but Mario, that's it. Mario just straight up said, no. Mario's the cop we see all the time as part of the shooters, as part of the SWAT team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know we ever got his name. The ESU guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
ESU guy.
Gotcha. I would never have given a shit about his name.
Yeah, I found that scene, like, not wild, because I did expect it, but to get the clear declaration of, like, the reason we're not shooting isn't because we don't want to hurt one of them. It's just, we don't want to help Luke.
Yeah.
We are not going to help Luke. We're going to watch him die.
Oh, God, such a great fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. The also really cool effects during the fight, like with like practical effects.
I felt a little hot and cold about some of the effects.
Really?
Like some of the times when they hit like especially when they like hit anything really, like the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
I felt like the crumpling effect was off timed sometimes.
Really, I actually thought it looked really good.
Okay.
In terms of like, I feel like sometimes in Luke Cage they've had a like weight issue where I feel like, you know, they don't get across the weight very much. But I feel like this fight got across the weight super well, and like I loved you know him picking up Diamondback and tossing him into the ceiling and then falling back down. That looked really dope to me. The one shot of him landing on top of the car and then Diamondback coming and dragging him down, like sort of like picking him up, slightly picking up and then bashing him back down on the hood of the car. That was probably my favorite shot in the whole fight.
That one was done really well.
I felt that. Like, that was like, oh! And like the crowd reactions to it, everything was like made all the hits much more impactful.
It also did feel like sort of a callback to Luke fighting in the ring. Like, this was essentially a ring fight once more.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's everything about like the fight, right? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
There's Incident Man, you know, the guy who sells incident tapes, which I could be wrong because I haven't seen Shields, but for most of the MCU that I've seen, like, or you know, up to this point, no one has footage of supers really doing stuff, like clear footage. Like, it's a lot of, you know, like dash cam stuff or like, you know, blurry footage. So bad. But this is 4K footage.
Yeah, I was so happy when he said, get the 4K camera. Yeah. Because I'm so tired of every single person in the MCU filming on like a 2007 Nokia phone.
And it's not going to be a shaky cam because they're in the crowd is safe, like they can just pan and everything. They can zoom in and out. They don't have to like be filmed from behind their back while running away from Chitauri.
I absolutely loved that we got, especially like with S.H.I.E.L.D. I hate every time in S.H.I.E.L.D. we see somebody holding a smartphone and then we look at the footage and it's the grainiest, shittiest footage you've ever seen in your life.
Okay, so S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't established good footage yet.
No. I would not say that this universe in general has established that cameras can record. Like, I don't know why cameras are so fucking bad in this universe. I mean, I get why. It's the classic, you know, Bigfoot footage sort of shit. But,
it also erases a lot of the problems of, well, why didn't someone film this or that?
Yeah.
Because the footage is bad anyways.
Yeah. But, like, in S.H.I.E.L.D., they do so much of, like, okay, everybody's filming all the time now. It's modern day. Everybody has a phone. Everybody's always filming. So, of course, there's going to be footage of this. So, it's not even that problem. It's like almost everything, of course, there's going to be footage of it. Let's just find that footage. But then it's always the worst footage ever! I feel like the only times where we ever see it, like, people recording and it's not awful footage is just when we never see that footage.
Yeah.
And when they just imply that it was good looking.
Oh, no! I'm hoping we see some of this 4K footage.
I want to see it. Yeah. I know we're never going to see it. That's all the times where it's good footage, when they imply that it's good.
Fingers crossed. I want to see Instant Man and Farley. Farley was his cameraman. I want to see them on the side of the road in Luke Cage Season 2, and they've got, like, a big HD, what am I thinking of? TV?
Yeah.
I don't use TVs, so I forgot what they were called. But I just want to see a big TV with, like, shots not from the episode, but from his angle of the fight. Yeah. Like, just one or two, even.
I mean, if they were holding the camera there, if they were not filming with that camera, they're stupid. Like, you know, in a meta sense.
Yeah.
Like, they could totally release that.
Yeah.
As, like, you know, deleted on, like, a DVD or something. It's Netflix, so we're probably never going to get a DVD, but...
I mean, I believe all of the Netflix MCU things do have DVDs.
Oh, they do?
I don't know if they're good.
Still.
But they do have physical releases.
Yeah. That would be a great deleted scene.
Yeah.
The Incident Man already better than the Rising Tide. Sky, I don't know what you were doing before you got in I mean, I guess she was just working with the having no money, so all the footage she could record was the worst possible.
I mean, these two are actually pretty impressive because they said there was a red camera as well. Like, red cameras are the ones that, you know, actual big movies use. Like, they are, you know, the defining, this is a good HD camera. After years of, you can't have a good HD camera, it's not allowed. You can only film, or you can use bad digital. Like, the red cameras are the first good digital cameras.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell they got these.
I mean, you're probably making a hell of a lot of money.
Honestly, yeah. Like, if he has the real good footage of the incidents, and if people aren't, like, pirating it online.
Like, again, bum fights made an insane amount of money.
True.
It doesn't, even if he was just filming, like, even if this was as fucked up as bum fights was, like, this is him filming super fights. This is not, this is good stuff that he's filming.
Right.
But even if this was as fucked up as bum fights, he'd be making a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they'd probably still be fine with him selling it on the street like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, even if people might bootleg it online, maybe, but then they would have to be, like, buying it from him and then ripping it and uploading it and stuff like that. And if you're in Harlem, you're probably just gonna buy it straight from him like that.
Yeah.
But now that I said, pirating it, ripping it online, I was thinking, like, there's no copyright for this. He doesn't have to worry about that either. Oh, no. I can absolutely see Tony Stark flying down here and being like, no, you're not selling this anymore, and just blowing up the table. I can 100% see Iron Man flying down here and blowing up that table.
Stark, no, stop.
Sorry, I gotta destroy this camera.
Oh, no.
That's copyright. That's my money.
It's his money.
Yes, he says, you get to keep 5% of the profits.
Oh, no, Tony. So, going back to, before the fight, actually, we have now established, and, like, it is implied that, when Misty says, oh, I don't have my phone on me, like, that is after the point where Mariah stole the phone.
Yeah.
I thought it was wild that, like, during the explosion, Mariah had the presence of mind to steal the phone, while Shades, whose main thing was, having the files, completely forgot the files. Like, Mariah stepped up there.
It's not even that he forgot the files, he dropped them.
Yeah. And then he couldn't find them and he had to run out.
Yeah, that whole, like, cell phone switcheroo thing, like, that was a really cool twist. It totally got me, because I didn't even suspect it at all. When Candace got the text, I was just like, it was Misty. Right. I didn't even remember the phone today. I was just like, But, yeah. What else do we want to? Where do we want to move on from here?
Okay, so I for most of the series, I was saying I don't think Claire is really going to happen. Like, I think it is going to be Claire.
Oh, Claire and Luke.
Yeah, like I figured it was going to be Claire and Luke have a little bit of a thing, but they're just keeping the romance thing warm a little bit until Luke hooks up with Jessica. But at the end of this, I don't think so.
No, yeah.
Especially because Claire is the free agent that kind of just goes around all of the series. So, it's not like, okay, Jessica Jones Season 2, she's not allowed there, so Luke and Jessica have to be behind him. Like, no, she can show up.
It also felt like Luke and Jessica had way more of a love connection, where it feels like Claire and Luke have way more of a we want to fuck, vibe.
Boy, Luke was so upset.
So mad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or is Luke Cage so fucking tense all the time? Not as a character, I mean as a show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does this thing where it's like, oh, we're just characters talking, having a conversation, we're just chatting. And every time they do it, I am so tense.
Yeah?
Every time. Like, when he was in the back of the
cop car?
Not the cop car.
Or the marshal's car?
The marshal's car, yes. I was like 99% sure, like, okay, either these guys are not marshals, or both these guys are about to get killed by, like, Shades or something.
Okay.
Or Luke is about to murder these two dudes. Like,
Really?
straight up murder them.
Oh, I did not get that vibe, honestly.
Really? The whole scene, I'm just like, it's happened already, just happened! It felt so clear. And there's been so many other points like that throughout the show, too, where I'm like, something's about to happen. Okay, nothing happened. Something's about to happen. Okay, nothing happened.
Huh. Because, no, I honestly think that the conversations have been, like, the most relaxing part of Luke Cage.
Really?
I don't feel tense during, like, any of the conversations. I mean, except for, like, Misty and the corrupt officer, sure.
There's
but,
even points where it's like Luke and Claire will just be sitting, chatting at, like, a diner, and I'm like, this feels like someone's about to get fucking sniped.
Really?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the camera angle they use, or if it's, like, I don't know what it is. I think it might be the lack of music at times.
Maybe.
Where it feels like we're building to a big, what am I trying to say? Like a hard shot cut into music sort of thing.
Sure.
I don't know.
I could see that. Like, yeah, there are two types of, like, we could break it down into conversations that are just conversations, and conversations that make you want to think they're just conversations, but then they lead into, you know, like, someone getting shot, or someone being attacked, or explosion.
Like, every scene with Mariah and Alex is that for me.
Okay.
The whole scene with, I mean, both scenes here, because we kept cutting back and forth between the two of them.
Okay.
That was also, I was like, Alex is gonna die here, they're gonna kill Alex, they're gonna kill him, they're gonna kill him, they're gonna kill him. Okay, they didn't kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I was so convinced they were gonna kill him in that scene. But yeah, I just want to see you kill the same thing. Not at all. Okay.
Nope, not at all. But yeah, so how do you feel about them as a couple? Like, if this is going to be a romantic thing and not just a they got a bone thing.
I mean, that's the thing. As I said, it just feels like a they got a bone thing. I don't get the you know love connection there just yet.
Sure.
But I don't think there really needs to be. But it's just like, from a meta perspective, it's wild that we're doing this instead of Jessica Jones, where I feel like they had a love connection and it felt very, like, natural.
I mean, I could see it sliding into Jessica as Luke's love interest, especially because, like, in the season, we now have the whole thing of, you know, you don't have to be that upset about killing Reva.
Yeah.
Like, it went from, you know, we have some unworked stuff to, you know, deal with, to, okay, I'm no longer in love with Reva. I was in love with the idea of her, but you killed someone who was part of, you know, the torture I went through.
Yeah. I mean, and just because you kiss or fuck somebody does not mean that he's going to have to be with her for the entire show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, where do we go from there?
I was thinking a lot about just all of the catchphrases in the show, or like things that I didn't think were catchphrases, like Misty saying, "I'm gonna nail X's ass to a wall." Like, she says that like 3 times in this episode, and she says it throughout the whole series.
I never even noticed it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed her saying it, but I never noticed how often she said that one.
No other ones really jumped to my mind immediately, but there's a lot of just, like, things where I thought it was just a thing someone said once or twice.
I ain't seen shit was established in episode 1 as they, like, everybody says this. I should get this on a t-shirt, and nobody said it since then.
Luke saying laying in the cuts is, like, only he ever says, I was laying in the cuts.
I feel like that's just a very common saying in general.
I mean, I've heard other people say it, like, IRL and, you know, in other shows, but in Luke Cage, it seems like Luke's the only one who ever says it.
Like, I thought Diamondback had said it.
Maybe, yeah.
I could have thought, I don't know, but I could definitely see Turkov saying, I'm just gonna, like, lie in the cut until... No, I don't think he said, I think he just said, something similar, but not quite that.
Yeah.
But maybe not. But, yeah.
The big one is, like, just as a thing that everyone says is always. Always has been a theme in the show, but I'm not totally sure where it's going.
I just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
I don't know. Like, it's, like, in a show perspective, it started with Pop's whole thing of, you know, always forward, forward, always.
Oh, is that what it's supposed to be? Okay, I legitimately never connected it to the always forward, forward, always thing. Just because it's just simply always. And it's never a, like, you know, it's never like a something, something forward and then him saying always.
Yeah.
It
like,
could just be them saying anything and him saying always.
Yeah.
Which is why I always assumed it was just like a comic-y sort of reference thing, like the Sweet Christmas, Sweet Sister sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, like, it does seem like, also, other people have said always in a very, like, you know, that's the end of the talk, or the end of, you know, the conversation.
But I feel like they've always said that in reference to Luke, which is why I thought it was a reference to, like, a comic thing and not, like, the pop thing.
But yeah, I think it's more of a Pop thing.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I started this wondering why, but now I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
I was also going to be like, does it tie into the fact that Luke's immortal? Like, he's the only one who can say always?
No.
So what was... go ahead.
I was about to say the same thing, the barbershop.
Yeah. Because the build of the series was, we need Pops again. And now it is, we still need Pops again, but it doesn't want to be a barbershop. The barbershop's not working out.
No.
And, like, they don't have anyone to cut hair, so...
I think you keep it as is right now, make no changes, and leave it up as, like, a statue, essentially.
Okay.
It is ostensibly a Luke Cage statue.
Sure.
And a Pop statue in the same way. You know, it is a monument for the city.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's also a very clear symbolism of how the times have changed.
Right.
Of, Switzerland is now permanently destroyed.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually a really cool idea.
I hope they don't fix it up. I honestly think that's been the big thing with Dogma 2 of, like, who the fuck is gonna cut hair here?
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to cut hair. Who the fuck is gonna cut hair here? But yeah, so maybe that's what we're building to. Nobody gonna cut hair.
I was thinking, like, maybe it's just gonna be a free clinic. Like, if Claire's gonna, start her superhero clinic.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I don't think so.
Yeah, especially because, like, it seems like Luke only stole exactly enough money, or, around enough money to fix up Pops once. Bobby isn't rich.
No, he's
so, like,
not rich.
If they've used up all the money, they can't do it again.
I mean, it does seem like Bobby still has some more money. He don't seem to be as, like he was in the beginning of the season.
Sure.
Like, in terms of worries about wealth or anything. Yeah. What will Bobby do after this if this place stays up as, like, a monument?
I mean, we don't know if Bobby has a job or anything.
I mean, his job was the barbershop now.
Was he?
I mean, I guess it wasn't. He was, like, looking after it, is what I mean.
Like, he just kind of did Pop's taxes beforehand, and now he was just fixing up the barbershop.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was the owner on the name. Like, now he's the owner. Well, I'm not sure anymore, but... I guess he wasn't. I guess it didn't change. No, he just...
Yeah, like, that was the whole thing, was, as long as we keep on paying, no one's gonna ask.
Yeah, so... I don't know what he's going to do after this.
Yeah.
I'm interested, because I like Bobby a lot. I'm surprised at how much I like Bobby. A lot of it probably has to do with his design, but he's a cool dude.
I like him more when he's not interacting with Luke. Like, I think specifically, like, the chunk of the series where it was Luke and Bobby was, like, it was good. I like Bobby, but they didn't have that, like, good interplay that I really liked. Whereas, like, Bobby on his own, very cool character.
I like Bobby and Luke in the sense that I like Bobby when he's with Luke, but
sure.
I don't like their dynamic together, but I still like Bobby fine.
I mean, I guess that's it. I think of Bobby and Luke scenes as being Bobby scenes.
Yeah, same. Okay,
yeah. So...
I see you just have a note that says, I like Bailey.
I do like Bailey. Like, he's not that important of a character, but I appreciate that he started off in episode 1 as just literally a guy in the background, and then all the corrupt cops, or not all of them, because we do see there's still corrupt cops in this episode.
Oh yeah, still plenty.
But all the ones that are on Cottonmouth's payroll had to leave, and then they were so starved for people that Bailey ended up being the partner of the best cop in the force.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, for that, he's never done anything extremely stupid.
No,
he's just doing his job.
Thing, but aside from that...
Yeah. That wasn't stupid. I would have done that.
You would have done that?
I would have 100% looked for Luke Cage porn. I'm still surprised there isn't any in universe. That's because Reva didn't love him. If Reva loved him, she would have been filming, they would have been rich.
That's not a very interesting supers having sex, thing. It's just gonna look like a black dude having sex.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, Bailey, I have no strong opinions of him one way or the other. I wonder what's gonna happen with Misty next season with the cell phone thing and everything.
Yeah.
I
really liked their interplay there, where Bailey pulls her out, and then you can clearly tell he doesn't know if she's the one who killed Candace or not.
Yeah.
Like, he is really hedging his bets, and he's, he doesn't want to show her.
Yeah. Like, it really felt like he was like I might be talking to a murderer right now.
Yeah.
But, yes, I wonder what the hell's gonna happen to her, because it's gonna be hard for her to, try and prove her innocence to this.
Yeah. Especially since, she still has the problem of, going full cop mode on people.
Yeah. I think she has the alibi of being here while it happened.
Yeah. So does Mariah.
Yeah, so does Mariah, sure. But, in general, I don't think she's going to get framed for the murder, but I do think, everything that was going on with Candace, she could definitely get framed for being, involved with everything and being a corrupt cop, even if she's not, just because of how she went around about that.
I'm really glad, last episode, we established, yes, Carl Lucas can be taken back to jail.
Right, so,
specifically, he's being taken in not for his previous crimes, but for breaking out of Seagate.
Yes, but how do you think he's going to, he seems extremely confident that he, and they said, blah, blah, oh, here's all the files to prove Carl Lucas's innocence.
Yeah.
But he seems very confident that he's going to be able to get out of this, like, legally.
Yeah. And Luke doesn't know that he has the files, or that Bobby has the files.
Yeah. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
And even if he did know that Bobby had the files,
Yeah.
let's even say that. Let's say that Luke knew 100% Bobby had the files.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't, but let's say that he did.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, how would he still think that he's getting out?
I don't know. Because
none of that is relevant to what he's being taken to prison for.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether the files have information about the experiments. Because I do think he could argue that the experiments were cruel and inhumane, and he left because of that. Like,
sure.
He had a very good reason to leave because something illegal was being done to him.
I don't know if that's going to hold up.
Yeah. It's circumstantial. Especially because, like, the only person apart from him who knows
because as they said in this episode of the Federal Marshals, it doesn't matter if you're innocent, we're still taking you back to jail. Like, even if you can prove your innocence, you are being taken back to jail not because of your crimes, but because even if you are an innocent man and you break out of prison, we are then going to arrest you for that now.
Yeah.
Which is insanity. It's the wildest shit in the world. But I don't know how he thinks he's going to get out of this.
I mean, I think that is it.
I mean, I guess, but I guess that's
like
the thing. He's just stupid. He's just so dumb.
Yeah. Like, it's the same reason why, like, if you're picking up garbage on the side of the road and your attending officer starts shooting at you, you're allowed to run away. Or, like, you're not allowed to. You will be booked as if you were, as if you ran away. Yeah. But then you can defend yourself and say, I was running away because I was being shot.
Yeah. Now, will it actually matter? Probably. That's my point. Is like, my problem is Luke thinking that is going to hold up in, a court. But we'll see. We'll see.
And the only person who knows this, apart from Luke, is Dr. Burstein.
Yeah.
So we might have to bring him back.
Hopefully. Arrest his ass. But so now we're getting the actual Diamond back.
Yeah.
Assumingly. We were talking about it for a while, so, okay, we're getting the Diamond back now.
By which you mean his back is going to be hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not clear. We've talked about it plenty already. But yeah, as I said, should have done more to Dr. Bernstein.
Yeah.
Should have done more, as always, Luke. always pulling the punches.
When we saw, the big montage of where everyone is, we saw that Claire took a number from a flyer titled Self-Defense and Martial Arts Training, Colleen Wing.
Yeah, so that is definitely Iron Fist tie-in. The only thing I know about Iron Fist is that it's martial arts related in some way, so
yeah.
That's our tie-in there, I think. And she's gonna go, be like, well, my boyfriend's in jail, time to get some new dick.
Oh no!
Is Claire just gonna, kiss every single person in the Netflix MCU? Well, we haven't got Jessica Jones yet, but we might get Jessica Jones next season.
I mean, that's how we tie them all together, is Claire gets locked in apartments, and she calls all of them, and then they all come at the same time.
Okay, there's just, like, a bunch of, like, miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
We're going over now.
Like Mariah replacing the piggy photo with just the abstract painting.
Yeah, with 2 crowns, her and Shades.
Yeah. We get the sort of a shot, like how we had the Cottonmouth shot of him with the crown over him. We saw the same shot, but she has both crowns over her.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think we covered all that.
I think we good.
You have some stuff about the comics?
Yeah. So, like, now we've done, like, the early Carl Lucas, Willie Stryker thing, I did want to say, like, it's so different from the comics, because this is kind of his origin story in the comics. So, like, Carl, Willis, Shades, and Comanche are all in a gang. Okay. Carl and Willis, just friends, not, related at all. Willis starts dating Reva Connors.
Okay.
Then he gets his ass beat. And Reva starts dating Luke instead. Or, sorry, Carl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he gets attacked, because he gets his ass beat by the Mafia.
Okay.
So, Willis steals drugs from Cottonmouth, who is just this like, old pimp, and plants it at Carl's place. That is how he gets sent to Seagate, just because he has drugs.
Okay, just because he had drugs.
Yeah. And in revenge, Carl calls up the Mafia and says, hey, the guy who stole the drugs that were at my apartment, that was Willis. So they try to kill him, they instead kill Riva.
Okay. I can see how they took a lot of pieces of that and just, moved them around.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they ultimately changed a whole lot. They just took the pieces and changed the players.
Yeah. It's a really interesting adaptation of all of those individual beats.
Yeah. That's fascinating.
So, he breaks out, becomes Luke Cage. The reason why he changes his name, and the reason why he has, the tiara and everything, is specifically because he wants to be a hero for hire. He has these powers, he wants to make money with them, so it's a brand.
Okay.
He wants people to look at him and go, I remember that guy with the tiara. He's a Luke Cage. I want him to protect me.
Yeah, that's a strong thing. That's cool, though.
It is the exact opposite of how he is in the show. He wants to be hidden a bit until the end of the season, where he becomes a symbol. He doesn't want to be paid for it, even though everyone wants to pay him.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised we're not doing that in this, because it feels very fitting for him to be a hero for hire.
Yeah, I think that might be Luke Cage season 2.
Maybe, yeah.
This is the whole setting up why this is all the stuff he didn't want to do, and now he's building up to eventually that's what he's gonna do.
I guess I take that back. A hero for hire, I guess, is not a hero for hire does have... I actually meant to talk this more way back when we first brought it up originally. I never did. So actually, first, how do you feel about Luke Cage being a hero for hire? If he was a person that you would go to hire and help you out with, something like that. Do you think that is good?
I think it's better than the alternative. I do think, a big problem of community policing is the incentive motive. What if the community just doesn't like you? Or what if, there's a problem and, all the big people in the community all turn a blind eye because, they're involved or they don't care or they don't want to get involved with that, but they want to get involved with other people.
Sure.
I think it is important to have a person who, no matter who you are, you can go to them and then they'll help you.
Right. I mean, I don't know if I would that's basically just hiring a mercenary at that point.
Sure.
Whereas, policing used to be voluntary. It used to be like the fire department was, essentially. There would be people in your community where you would say, this man is the man who, protect, these people, not this one person, but for Luke's perspective. It is essentially the community saying, Luke Cage is the man who protects us. Now, the difference is that Luke Cage is kind of saying, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
But, that is what the police used to be before they were called the police.
Right.
So I think it should be that way instead. Coming to Luke and saying, hey, this is the scenario, and then, judging it based off that rather than, here's the money, go do this thing.
Sure.
Having to judge morally yourself because it's a volunteer job and you are, having to, it also makes it that way, a lot of small crimes are not going to get resolved because they don't need to be.
Right.
If you can't resolve it amongst yourselves, then that's a problem. That's a problem amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
But small crimes don't need the police. They don't even need a community police person. That should be a problem that you're solving amongst yourselves.
Right.
And if you can't, that is a big problem with you and with the other person. And yeah, but not in a police sense, but just in a, you're gonna have to do something about it at that point. If it's that small, then you're gonna have to do something about it at that point. But either way, that's how I feel about it. I guess I don't want to be hero for hire.
All right, and I do think it does feel like the series itself and the writers are stating that this is a pattern that could be used in the real world. I think the series is trying to state that cops bad, people working within the community as as altruistically as possible, trying to create their own justice is a better solution.
Yeah.
So in that case, I don't think the show is going to do the hero for hire thing. I think that goes against what they would want to show.
I think so.
It's just I can also see the value of a hero for hire situation.
Yeah. I could see it, but I hope we don't actually, now that I think about it more.
Sure.
Any last wrap-up things?
I did want to ask here, overall season thoughts.
I mean, I feel we got that at the beginning.
Sure.
I feel like we're just going to be rehashing it if we say anything. Do you have anything else to say about the season overall?
I will say, as like, the community response, there's a pretty clear divide between people who love the first half, hate the second half, and people who hate the first half, love the second half.
Really?
Yeah. I would say there are more people who love the first half, hate the second half, than vice versa.
Okay.
But there is a strong contingent of people who are like, yeah, the series is so boring, and they set up things for so long, there's so many characters, and then finally Diamondback comes in, and it's, it's a big punchy action series.
Okay. Because, I would definitely say I felt like the same way with Daredevil Season 2. A lot of these shows, I haven't really been looking at the comments that much until I'm done the season.
Sure.
Because sometimes people will give me, I wasn't, that fond of the season, or like, I didn't like the first half, I didn't like the second half, I don't want to know that going in, so I kind of just, I check out, a couple comments here, but mostly I'll go through the comments when I'm finished the season. But yeah, it seems like most people's opinions of Daredevil was the same way. Of a lot of people really liked the first half. Most people did not like the second half. There was a couple people that didn't like the first half, did like the second half. But I don't know. I hope some of the other seasons aren't like that.
Yeah, I'd say Jessica Jones was pretty steady throughout.
Yeah, Daredevil season 1 very steady throughout.
Yeah.
Anything else before we end this off?
I think that's it. We've already talked about the future of where all these characters can go from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. I will see you guys for the next one. Until then, you can get the fuck out of here. Next up is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, by the way. Woo! Check in the description for the viewing order of everything. It's in there. Get the fuck out of here.